All right. Hello, everybody. Three Swords Productions here after a very long time. So we're going to do a live stream tonight that's just kind of like talking about CookieRun in general. It's been a game that I've been like really enamored with. If you've been watching the notifications that come up, then you'll see we've been doing some case tournaments, some win-a-box tournaments over on the PBG Discord server. So it's been a good time, and right now there's a lot of enthusiasm about the game. There's a lot of players that want to play, and we're just looking to put on more tournaments to kind of feed all the players, give them something to shoot for. Players in CookieRun right now do have access to their local game stores for the Braverse Brave League, but we're looking to give more impactful tournaments, something to kind of whet the appetite of more competitive players or those looking to step up, go from their locals up to that like more competitive scene, all leading up to the NA Champion Cup, which is happening this December. So that's really exciting. If you haven't heard about that, we'll talk about it later on tonight. So it's going to be a good night. You'll get to kind of learn what makes CookieRun special in general. If you're just a fan of like One Piece, like this is kind of a game for you. The set one, the cards just look very similar to One Piece, so like that's really cool. If you're a fan of that art, that framing, and honestly, a lot of the game mechanics carry over as well. And then as we evolve into set two for North America, the cards really start to take on a life of their own. They start tapping into that huge audience that comes behind the CookieRun universe, because it's so much bigger than just this trading card game. They have so much rich lore, rich history. They have such a fan base. This is going to be one of those incredible card games that come out and just automatically you're going to see cosplayers, fans come over. You're going to see a lot of character recognition. And if you're not someone who knows anything about CookieRun, Oven Break, or one of the other 10 games that they have, don't worry, because the game itself is good enough to stand on its own legs. Take it from me, I knew nothing at all about the CookieRun IP before we got started, but here we are. I'm super deep in the game. I have bought multiple cases of the product. I'm so fortunate to get to run some organized play in North America on behalf of CookieRun. Weekly tournaments, like talking to the community, talking to the judges, has all been so nice. And I'm just excited to kind of share the game more and just let everybody dive in on their own. So tonight, before we do too much here, let me kind of just introduce you to CookieRun Braverse, what it is. There is quite a bit that you can explore. The Dev Sisters team have given us a lot of resources to be able to learn how to play the game without even needing anybody around to teach you. If you're somebody who doesn't have product in your area, that's okay. There's a number of retailers online that are selling the singles, but you don't even have to go that far, because right here on CookieRunBraverse.com, which you can find easily by Googling, you can find the play section, which will take you over to their tournament software tool, which we'll get to in a little bit. But you can also learn how to play, and it's a little bit better too than just like your normal rules manual, or like a lot of times you get that static sheet of paper that just kind of tells you exactly what to do on the sheet, but it's this like overwhelming pile of information, and it's nice to have as an analog to teaching, to being taught. But if you're a player on your own and you're looking at some of those like starter, like how do I play guides, it can be a little overwhelming. But don't worry, the Dev Sisters team thought of that, and so they have this really nice website which teaches you all about the game in just a handful of steps. So let's go through those real quick just to get everybody familiar with what we're talking about tonight, what we're doing. And don't worry, this broadcast is going to go from very beginner, very new player, all the way up to, in about 45 minutes or so, we're going to start actually tuning in and watching a tournament. That tournament so far is set 2 for North America. So you're going to get quite a bit of information tonight, going all the way from what even is CookieRun, all the way up to jumping right into a live tournament, and we'll tell you all about how to join those events if you're interested in doing that. So you're going to get a whole lot. Okay, so yeah, let's get started. So CookieRun card game cards, okay? So there are 4 types of cards: cookie, item, trap, stage. That's really cool because stage, I think the stage works kind of the way that I want it to. It feels like a field spell in Yu-Gi-Oh, but it also feels like an enchantment in Magic. Not quite like an equipment or an aura. It is something that like, statically goes on the board and then impacts forever. You can. There's very few ways to interact with these right now in the game, and the cards that do interact with them are just not strong enough. So luckily, we don't have any stages that are too overpowered at the moment. Otherwise, those cards that interact with them would get better, but it is a fun thing to put in your deck, and there's a lot of them. Whatever your play style is, you can find a stage card that just goes right into that, and it's a lot of fun. So, the example they gave was Burning Jelly Volcano. So you'll get to pay 2, and that's right. That symbol right there is the cost. So you'll pay 2 in order to play this, and then place it in your stage area. We'll get over. We'll scroll down the page a little bit, and we'll see what the different zones are for the game. Don't worry, it's not going to be too much. So then activate. That's standard language if you've played a different card game. But if not, it just means that once per turn you can use this effect. So you'll pay 1 red. And then rest this card. That's how you know that you can only do it once per turn because it turns sideways, and you can't do that more than once per turn unless you have an ability that untaps it. So select one of your cookies during this turn. That cookie gains +1 attack damage. So right off the bat, just reading one stage card, these cookies are brawling, right? They're coming bare knuckles and they want to fight. So we've got attack damage. We've got cookies that are going to duke it out. And that's really exciting that the creatures, the monsters, the whatever you want to call the game pieces that do the battle, I think it's just so cute. They're called cookies. And look at that espresso cookie over on the left. That'll take us right over to the cookie card. Like, it's just so cute. I mean, it's like really threatening. It's really imposing. He's shooting out, fireball. It's got like some kind of solid object in there. But what's more than that is like he's like a gingerbread cookie. It's just so adorable. Like the cards can be this like mixture of really, really cute, really soft, but then you'll have some like really powerful like Storm God cards that are like Stormbringer. They look like Zeus. They're so powerful, and they have like insanely good effects. But CookieRun is awesome because you just get like such a blend of like cute and powerful and imposing, and just there's so much texture to the game. So your turn, if your break area is level 6 or higher, so we'll get to break area level later. This cookie gains +1 attack damage right away. We've got 2 cards on the board. Just of the 4 random things they showed us, 3 of them here have to do with attack damage, which is awesome. That's a really good sign. That means we're interacting with gameplay back and forth. I'm going to be able to, make decisions. I'm going to get to attack you. You're going to interact with me. I think that's like one of the strongest places to start with a game. It's just like low speed, high interaction games. They're just a lot of fun. You don't want to get told no too often. You don't want to get countered super often because that can kind of not be fun, especially for new players. So don't worry, you're not going to get too much of that in this game, at least not right now in set 1 and 2. But there is that level of interaction. There is that level of, I do this. What are you going to do about it? And I think that's so enjoyable. So we've got item cards, and these are played during your turn. Gives various helpful effects during your turn. And they are not kidding when they say various. It is a wide spectrum. You go from just giving a simple +1 attack damage all the way up to you can accelerate your mana. You can accelerate your support cards. You can ramp. There's quite a number of things that you can do with these item cards. They feel a lot like events from One Piece, and so like that's like just a lot of fun. You get to interact with the game in like various different ways just by playing these kind of like spell cards almost. So it's very reminiscent of Yu-Gi-Oh. It's very reminiscent of like sorcery speeds from Magic. There's a lot of crossover there. And then we've got trap cards. Arguably one of the more fun things about a new game is just seeing like, what can I do with my resources? What can I do with my mana, my support, whatever it is, during your turn? It's always like, for me, it's so much fun when a game starts with trap cards or ways to interact with my opponent on their turn. And like recently, Lorcana, you get a lot of games that don't let you interact on your opponent's turn. And I actually think like it kind of loses something a little bit when that happens that we see all the time in CookieRun. We've got these trap cards. Don't worry, it doesn't get crazy like in Yu-Gi-Oh! You can only play one of these when your opponent declares an attack. You can only get one. So you know that your opponent can't do so much that it's going to cost you the game. You don't have to constantly be worried about what is this attack going to do, but you do have to think about it. It introduces that little bit of thought that you get, that little bit of interaction. And so, like, you know, whenever I have like a clear line, or let's take it all the way to the end of a game, right? Whenever I have that moment that I'm like, oh, the game's about to end, it all rides on this. Does my opponent have that trap card that's going to stop me from winning the game? Because I'm in that moment now where if I don't win, I lose. Like, my heart races a little bit. You're like, okay, I swing, I attack you. What do you got? And if they have a resource open, it's like I have to be worried. It does, like I said, just makes my heart race a little bit. And I think that's kind of like it's just really good. It makes the game crunchy. It makes the game feel like, wow, I have to think about, if you had this card, should I even make the attack? Like, that just adds so much more depth to the game for even having trap cards to begin with. So that's awesome. You can click on this. I don't know what it does if we click on it. We'll kind of come back to that. I kind of want to just go down the page here. Give me 1 second, guys. So sorry. I will be right back. All right. I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to help out the kiddo. That's great though. So like I said, you can click on this. You can explore the depths of that a little bit. We'll come back to it, but first, let's keep going because that gave us a lot of information just seeing these cards. And so let's kind of scroll down here and see what else we've got going on. So this is how to play the CookieRun card game. Take turns against opponent with various strategies, and there's a whole gameplay download. This is probably what I was talking about earlier. So this is exactly it. The starter sheet that has like a lot of information. This is really good when you're being like guided. This is like that add-on like guided tour feeling. But we're gonna come back to this because this is like pretty overwhelming for a new player to kind of look at. But I will say, if later we don't find this this board here on the main website, we'll just come back to this because this is a really good layout. Like, I actually love this. It has all the phases on it. It has what every area does. You even get like little reminder text on it. That's great. So we'll come back to that. Okay, so we've got a whole video that we can watch here. Before we do that, before we kind of leave this page, let's just kind of explore what else there even is to offer here. So CookieRun Braverse products. Okay, great. So they're taking you right into the video, and then they're going to show you what all the products are. That's awesome. So CookieRun Braverse starter decks for gameplay. And then this probably has a full guide or at least a breakdown on every single deck. Let's click on it and just see what there is here. Ready play deck. Awesome. It's just telling you about the product. But it's really good though, because you get a glimpse at like where you can start. Like, it kind of consolidates all the information. So like I said, if you're a player who's new to the game, this is such a good resource to start with because you really do have such a dense amount of information on like one page, and it's beautifully laid out. You can just start from the top, read every single thing that's there, keep going down. And I think it's in a really good order, too, to kind of help you out. And then down below, there's a bunch of email addresses. So whatever region you're in, you can get support in your area, you can get support in your time zone. So like, this is a Korean game, but that doesn't mean like North American folks have to wait for that Korean time zone to get a response. You actually have a North American email address they can reach out to right there, as well as like any other time zone. If you're in whatever country, like there is your own email address so that you don't have to wait. You've got like almost immediate like responses. Very good team behind that. All right, so let's scroll back up and let's take a look at the video.
Let these crunchy cards take you on an adventure.
That is really loud. Sorry about that.
Here are the rules for CookieRun Braverse. Card types. There are 4 cards in CookieRun Braverse. Cookie cards, the main form of attack. Item cards that assist your play during your turn. Trap cards that assist you against your opponent's attacks.
Let's just scroll up and let's just kind of forward into this video here a little bit and just kind of show you like the parts that you can explore. I don't want to sit here and make you watch the whole video while I'm talking over it. It's so much better if you just like go on the website and watch the video. I'm sure you can find it on their YouTube channel as well. But this has a lot of information. So let's just look at the different parts of this video. So I love how much they've gone in on like the animation styles, the graphics. They all look super nice. And this is a good example of what I was saying is like cards look a little bit like One Piece. So if you're familiar with that game, you're gonna love this one. So perfect item cards. I already explained all that. Let's just skip ahead. So like it's going to show us a little bit about the deck here, and the deck being 60 cards is really cool because that means it's a 4-of game, and you have like a good amount of variance. But it is like a 4-of game, so you see a lot of your like the cards. If you want to play 4 of it, you can almost guarantee that you're going to see like the card at least once in the game. And that's a good note about something else about this game. You haven't seen yet how the HP system works, but if you look at the top right corner of that pistachio cookie right about here, it's got HP 3 on it. That's super important. Because of that really clever mechanic, this is a game where you're going to see most of your deck every single game. In fact, I actually believe that about 90% of games, one player is going to deck out. At least one player, maybe both of them. That's 90% of the games. But don't worry, that doesn't mean you lose. There's a whole mechanic around that. You're just you take a little bit of a life point hit, but you get to reshuffle your entire discard pile, your entire trash pile back into your deck. You kind of form a new game. And so you've got all your mana, you've got all your resources, you've got all the cards that are in your break area, it kind of feels like prize area from Pokemon. All that stuff's taken out of your deck already, plus the cards in your hand, plus the cards on the board, and then you're resetting your deck with way fewer cards. You get a lot of control over what goes back in your deck that second time. You're really close to the end of the game, but you have a lot of control over what goes back into the deck. So it's really, really good. If you can almost plan around that, it's awesome. So let's kind of keep going and see. So this is how to win the game here. And so it talks about the whole break area. Basically, whenever one of your cookie loses to damage, whenever it gets defeated by damage, that could be item card, trap card, stage card, that could be, whatever it is, like an attack or whatever, that cookie does not go into the trash. It actually goes into your left zone over here, the break area. And the break area is really special because every cookie has a level 1 through 3. It cannot be 4. It cannot be 0. It's got to be 1, 2, or 3. And that's really important because you're going to go over to the left area here. And when it comes in the break area, you're going to count all the way up to 10. At that point, you lose. Or if your opponent's at 10, you win. So that's the whole point of the game, is just breaking enough cookies, fainting enough cookies, so that your break area goes to 10 or more. And some decks play with this a little bit. Like your yellow strategy is all about healing. Your yellow strategy is all about manipulating your break area, sometimes your opponent's break area. And so it plays a little bit like a control deck because you're using your life as a resource so that you can do more powerful stuff. It's a little bit of a gamble because a lot of the cards want you to be at 6 or have like a level 3 in the break area, or have a level 2, or have multiple level 2s even in case of Cyborg Cookie. So it's a little bit gambling, playing with luck, but you get really nice payoffs. If you get your break area all the way up there without actually losing, you get a lot of powerful payoffs. So it's really cool. I definitely like how much they played with that. I like it even more than I like the life system in Dragon Ball or One Piece. I think the break area is so clever. This is probably my least favorite part about the game, is that you have to play rock, paper, scissors. I get why they're doing it because everybody like hates dice rolls, and I get it, but like I really enjoyed dice rolls. All right, and so like I said, I don't want to watch the entire video, and they're going to go through a whole bunch of like setup and play. But what's really important is that we talk about like the phases here before we keep going, because it's going to matter a lot here when we start watching a whole Win-A-Box start getting played in about 30 minutes. Like I said, in about 30 minutes, we're going to start watching an entire tournament, start to finish. We're going to get a lot of stuff in this video. So, okay, awesome. The support phase. So this is really clever. This is like basically the core of the game. So you've got all of your cookies cost 0 to play. It's really interesting because a lot of games are either mana system or no mana system. CookieRun is a little bit of a blend of both. Like you get that Yu-Gi-Oh effect where you like just get to play cookies on the board. Like you can play your most insane, most powerful cookie on turn 1. If you wanted to just put that out on turn 1, there is absolutely nothing stopping you from doing that. You can just do that. What is incredible is the amount of balancing that happened so that doesn't like overrule the game. It's actually often like one of the worst things that you can do is just putting your most powerful cookie on the table. Because that gives your opponent so much time to deal with it. Instead, you should save it for like a really critical moment. But it is something you can do. So all the cookies cost 0 to play, but they cost a resource to attack with. That's right. You're limited on the number of attacks that you get by how much support cards, how much mana you have. I think that's so clever because you can almost count like there's situations that you can get into where you can lock your opponent with a certain number of cookies in play, and you can count how many resources they have. So you already know in your head, okay, they need 5 resources in order to attack with both cookies that they have in play, but they only have 2 resources or 3. So I know they can't attack with me with both. So I'm actually pretty safe. There's so much like telegraphing and math that you can do, or not. I mean, the game it offers you so many little valves for depth and play that it's really clever. But that's the support area right here. You get to play 1 support per turn right after you draw. You have to do it right after you draw. And then we go into the main phase. This is where you do everything. Like you could sum up the active phase, the draw phase, the support phase, all in like maybe 5 seconds, right? Because it's draw 2 cards, untap all your stuff, and then play a support. That's all you're doing. So the entire game almost is played in the main phase, right? So this is where you're going to play cookies, you're going to activate items, you're going to play stage cards, and then you're going to finally do the thing we all came to do, which is battle with some cookies. All right, and I'm gonna skip through this whole part because, like I said, they kind of go really like in depth about explaining the rules. This is an amazing video. It's only 5 minutes, so like if you want to learn how to play the game, this is on their website. Like I said, CookieRunBraverse.com. You just go to the how to play section up at the top. You get all this good stuff. It's 5 minutes, really, really compact. I've spent more time explaining parts of the video than the video even takes. So sorry about that, but you can go watch the whole video on their website. I don't want to take anything from them. Battles happen. So we'll talk a little bit about the battle here because I think it's really cool. Like I said, you have to tap resources in order to make these attacks. It costs mana there, costs support cards. What's really cool, though, is the damage taking. So battle actions here. I want to see them take damage because this card took 3 damage. What was really interesting is that you have to take the damage 1 at a time, and you're going to see these flip effects happen, like discard 1 card. The cookie with this card attached gains an HP. So mid-attack, you could actually just heal your cookie. It's really cool. Your cookie might not survive because you get these flip effects that happen, and it works almost exactly like One Piece on the life. You know, you flip your triggers up, and you get to see like, oh, is the game? It's nothing Capone level, but it can almost feel like the Capone back in like set 5, set 6 of One Piece, where everybody was like, this is really upsetting. I don't think it ever gets to that point in this game, but it can feel like, oh my gosh, I should have lost my cookie, but because of that heal, I didn't. So it is something that you always have to plan for, and you always have to be, kind of cognizant of. I'm going to turn my camera off for 1 second, so my kids are back there. But okay, awesome. We're going to skip right past that. That's that. All of that is on their website. Super good tutorial there. I'm going to keep scrolling down and see what else we have. Actually, I just remembered one thing I wanted to show you. So let's go ahead and click on Cookie Card and just see what happens here. Oh, that's perfect. That's actually so gas. So if you click on those cards, I recommend you save that for the very end, like after you've learned the rules, after you've learned how to play the game. Go ahead and go back to the top of that page And what you're going to do is just click on Cookie, and it's going to take you to the deck builder. In there, like this is a huge product list. This has every single card that's been released in English, all the way through set 8. We're in set 2 right now. And they have cards through set 8. So you've got quite a bit of reading material if you want to get a leg up on the whole competition. You can just go ahead and read the next set. Like, you can read all the cards. It's great. It's so cool. You can kind of see the full evolution of the game from set 1 all the way up to set 8, and see like how the game gets a little bit deeper, how we get better. But you've got this whole card list here, and clicking on that top button filters it down just by the card that you chose. So we've got levels in this game. Like I said, level 1, 2, 3. Like I said, you could never be level 4, so you've got all this. This is a really cool showcase because you get all the way from like the most basic common cookie here with this dark choco cookie, all the way up to like this. This is like an SUR, so this is like the granddaddy. This is like the big boy here. This is that level of card where if you open this, you just like lose your mind because it's like the coolest thing ever. And look at that texture pattern. I just want to show you this because like very few games show you this like kind of online, but that texturing is like you can run your hand over the card and feel it. It's like one of the nicest things I've ever felt. And it just feels so cool. And when you rotate the card, I talk with my hands a lot, I'm so sorry. When you rotate the card though, you get to feel that, like you can see it interacting with the light. I'm really excited about like the upper, like the chase cards from this game. It's like one of the coolest things to me. All right, so you get a whole bunch of cute stuff, and you can really see the wide array of just like the intro level cookies, the commons that you can kind of like look at this flavorless cookie, right? This flavorless cookie is like a perfect example of like it's flavorless. It's super vanilla. Like it's almost clever like how they've named this card with what exactly it is, right? Because like level 3 with 5 HP is exactly on rate. It's exactly like the stat line you think is like normal. And then like if you have a level 3 that's 4 HP, it's kind of bad. And if you have a level 3 that's 6 HP, that could be so good that they have to nerf the ability. So 3/5 is like exactly in the middle. It's kind of like they call it bears in Magic, where it's like a 2/2 or like a 3/3 or like a 4/4. It's kind of exactly what you're expecting. So you get that Broken Fist there, attack for 4 mana. So anytime you can spend 1 resource to deal 1 damage, that's great in this game. So this is like a perfectly statted card. And that, the artwork is kind of adorable. It's kind of cute, but then you get, kind of sillier things like this Shelly, which is like a hamburger gummy riding a turtle, which is just interesting. But then you get things like this Mystic Flower cookie, which has insanely cool art. Like definitely still a character from the CookieRun, universe. But you get like such a cool detailing. You get the card just looks like really impressive. I like the art style. It's hard. I'm not super familiar with like the definitions of the art styles, so I'm not sure. But for me, like this is just so visually appealing that I love these like chase cards. And then you also get some you even get some like templating changes every now and then. Like this golden cheese cookie kind of looks like one of the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, or like there's like one Magic set that kind of took this framing. So I think this kind of looks like similar, but it's just because of this like temple border thing that they have here. And it looks so interesting. I love that. And there's so much detailing too. You kind of get yeah, exactly. Yeah. You get exactly that. Like I love this like little reflection down here as well. Very cool. All right. Okay. So product list right there. You get card list. You can see every single card that is going to come out for the next like 6 months. You got all of that right here. This website is so cool. You get this is where the Dev Sisters team like posts announcements. You get kind of everything right there. You get NA notice. This is where you're going to find out like press releases. You're going to find news. You can use this to find I'm pretty sure they have like the comprehensive rules on this site. You've got store list. So you've got like full if you want to go shopping for Cookie Run cards, then look, you can even find it in Canada. You can find everybody. And this is like 31 stores that carry Cookie Run in Canada. That's incredible. So there's no shortage of Cookie Run in Canada. If you're looking for it, this is a great place to start. If you don't know, like, does my LGS carry it? Just call them and ask. But if they don't, and you're looking, like, you can find your nearest store here. Like, it's kind of gas. Like, I love that. So you get the full product list here as well. They have so much information on this website, and the whole time it's just adorable. I mean, look at this little cookie. Like, just having a full picnic with like potions and candles and spells and cotton candy. It's just like, it's such a mashup of like all the coolest vibes. And then so you also have a comprehensive like FAQ here as well, and you can search this. So like I'm gonna look up like timekeeper cookie, and I'll probably find 9 results found, right? Because there's different timekeeper cookies. Like, you can find out ruling interactions that happen in BS6. We're currently in BS4. We can talk about that in a little bit too. But we're currently in BS4, and hey, like two printed sets later, I still know, like, okay, here's some ruling interactions, and even how those cards are interacting with like older cards like BS3. Those are like very different sets, but I still get this comprehensive FAQ that's going to teach me like how these interactions happen. So a lot of that, like, oh, I need to ask a judge, it's just handled right here. There is an incredible judge resource in the official Cookie Run Discord. So if you're not in that, check the description of this video, because I think that's a really good place for you to be. You should definitely be there. There's like a ton of very active judges that step in constantly to help out with rulings. And there's a great community there. Like, right after New York Comic Con, the community on the Discord really exploded. It was big after Gen Con, but after New York Comic Con, I just saw so many like daily posts. There's people waking up, they say good morning. Everybody's super friendly. They want to help you find the cards. They want to help you get connected with Cookie Run. That's really where you find like absolutely everything. Those guys it's incredible. You can find stores to buy like singles from. You can find tournaments there. You can find players to hang out with. You've got so many options right there in the main Discord. It's great. It's great. That's all I have to say. All right. So now for some more like advanced stuff, right? Because we know now how to play the game. We know how to find all the information about it. Let's hang out with. Let's do some more advanced stuff, right? Because hey, we know the cards, but how, like, this is just a card list. Like, this isn't a deck builder. What do I do, right? Where do I go to like start building a deck? How do I start visualizing like what I'm looking at? Where do I start to find deck lists? Like, these are super important questions, and this website has you covered again. So we're going to click on play here, and we're going to find the very first tour stop that a lot of players interact with. Like, a lot of players find their home right here in this Cookie Run. It's called play.cookieruntcg.com. And if you just type that in, you're going to find this is actually the tournament software. So this is, if you go to your LGS, the same website that you have to enroll in is going to be the one that you can find so much more information. And so you have this filter here that is going to help you find like all of the tournaments that might be around you. I live right next to Star City Games, so this is the one that pops up for me. I've got my weekly play here. I love that it's location based. You can also see like, if I want to travel a little bit, I've got this Blacksburg's tournament that this is about 30 minutes away from me. So I can go locally to my LGS that's 5 minutes away, or I can drive 40 minutes to go play in another one. That's awesome. And then if I want to play in this even bigger tournament, because they've got this one right here, this is a double elimination tournament. I'm not sure exactly what the prizes are for this, but I'm sure I can find out. Milky Way promo card, and a playmat. That's awesome. What's interesting for this tournament is it says I get a playmat for second place, but not for first place. So that's cool. I really want that playmat, by the way. So I'd probably see if the second place winner wants to trade with me. So I really like the playmats. Punt the link in chat. Oh, definitely. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Let me go back to this, and I'll just pop the link in chat there, because it is like, thank you, Larry. It is a really, really good resource to have. So we'll put that there. Awesome. Okay, yeah, let's go back here. So another cool thing about this game is that you get a full ranking board. And that ranking's not, this is not just like your run of the mill like leaderboard. This isn't just something that you just earn and you're kind of like seeing like who's the best. Now you get that too. You do kind of get to see who the best is out there. If I'm looking at this season 2 leaderboard, I can already see like a few names, like a lot of names that popped up in season 1. So, these are not just like one-off winners. Like this is really where like you go season over season over season, you can see the same names popping up because like truly they are the best in the country. So this is where you want to be, and you also get prized like super well for this. Like if you end up like Vincent Pham right now, if he's able to keep that up, like him and Cool Bro are locked for points right now. If he's able to keep that up, like he's looking at some stacked rewards. Like this is, let me see if I can zoom in here. This is crazy. Like you're getting a custom promo card just for you. That is wild. Like that's amazing. Not for nothing, this is the strongest card in my deck. Like I play green right now. I play 4 copies of this card in my deck. Like I'm looking at Vincent like, bro, like if you do well, like I want to trade. I love this card. And it says champion on it, so it's awesome. There's only one winner. And they are true to that. Like if there's a tiebreaker, they will still do like a full playoff to see like who the actual winner is. So like, Vincent and Cool Bro there, Cool Bro Alex, if they were to end the season on a tie, there would be like a special playoff game that they have to participate in, that they get to play in. And that's going to like really like define the winner for the meta because it's just so hype, and you get like custom sleeves down here. So you're getting like 2 packs of these. So you get the sorbet cookie and you get this Camillo cookie. And bro, there's like no sleeves in North America. Like you get dragon shields or nothing. That's kind of it. And then look at this playmat back there. Like not for nothing either. That's Stormbringer cookie. That's like one of the more hype cards from set 2 in North America. Like they nailed it on this. Like these 2 promo cards are just like chef's kiss. It's so nice. You get this like just incredible mix of like green is like technically not the strongest color, but post ban list, like we haven't really like dove into, like I haven't seen a lot of players playing green at a high level yet. So like I personally believe green can compete with basically everything. You just have to play really well. And so seeing the Sugar Swan cookie makes me really excited. And you get the Stormbringer cookie as your playmat. Like people are going to like hunt you down to find that. Like it's gonna be really sweet getting that. And then as the game expands even more, like you never go backwards, right? Like you'll never get another opportunity to get the Stormbringer cookie playmat. So like as that card continues to be popular, here's the secret too. A lot of these artworks, like we're going to see Stormbringer cookie again. Like, right? Like, let's go back to this thing here. Let's go back to the card list through set 8. Let's see how many Stormbringer cookie there are, right? So right now we've got 3, right? And when we look at cards like Timekeeper cookie, like these are like, and look, you can tell because this is an IP game, like this is kind of like Monkey D. Luffy, these are like cards that are going to keep coming back. And so your Timekeeper playmat that you're going to get from North America Champion Cup, like your Stormbringer cookie that you're getting from from winning this season, those are going to be recurring items that like gain more and more hype because it's like, yeah, I didn't win the Brave League in season 2 a year ago, so I don't have that playmat. But I mean, Vincent Pham might, Cool Bro Alex might, these guys are like, it matters a lot to be playing this stuff right now. These are prizing that's going to be good for a long time. And so it doesn't just stop there. We get prized all the way down. You can see only the top 3 are even getting playmats. Like once you're out of top 3, you're no longer getting playmats. Like top 16, that playmat's gone. That means if you want this playmat, you have to be top 3. Like nobody else is getting it. And if you look at it, it says 1 finalist playmat, which means that most likely these playmats have the word champion on it. They have the word finalist. They have runner up. Like every single one of these playmats are unique. Like there's only 3 of them total and they all have different words on them. So like those are all technically unique prizing. On top of that, they're giving you booster boxes. You're getting a bunch of these promos. Like all of these come with their own stamp on them. This says top 32. So like there's not that many of them. Even if you're in 32nd place, you're still getting like a crazy reward because there's only 16 of them, right? Like 17 through 32 is getting the top 32 cards. So like there's not 32 of those cards. There's only 16. And this has finalist on it. So it like literally just has like a whole different word on it. Top 32, you're getting finalist on the promo, right? So there's an equal number of these. Technically there's a little bit less. It looks like there is 1, 2, and then third place starts the finalist promo. So third place through 16th place, the promos actually have like the same text on them, and I think that's really important because that makes it like there's 14 of the finalist cards, the finalist promos, and there's 16 of the top 32 promos. So there's like slightly more. But that's actually interesting because you can't do, because it's a 4-up game, right? That means there's 4 play sets of the Sugar Swan cookie total, and there's an odd number. So there's going to be like one person who technically like doesn't get to play this card that they maybe want to, like, so maybe even like there's a weird world where like top 32 promos worth more somehow because, you know, like somebody just wants like a play set of them. So there's a lot of like interesting things there. But like I said, these are just rewards that you get for playing at your LGS, right? Like this isn't some crazy, like I have to go out to this place, like, and you know, I don't have to travel across the country to get these prizing. This is, I just go to my local game store that's 5 minutes away from me and I just start playing. And if I'm consistently doing well at my LGS, then I get crazy rewards. I get to like be on this huge leaderboard that has like all these people from everywhere on it. But that doesn't matter because I just have to play the best I can in my local game store, and I could win. Like that, it's really cool. I love that so much. So moving on, talking about deck lists, because we've kind of talked to you about how to play the game. We've talked to you about where to find resources for intro to the game. We've even talked to you about now where do I find, like, where's the competition at, you know, because you can find it right here on this ranking board. Let's talk about what you should play, right? And this is super cool. You've got a lot of filtering here. Format, you can go draft, sealed, constructed, includes. This one you do have to type, so it's like not exactly new player friendly, but you get this tag of like aggro mid-range control combo. Curious to see what combo means in this game. Oh, look at that! One of the most popular judges right now, Zacy the Muffin. Honestly, if you're playing in the PPG case tournaments or the win it boxes, Zacy's going to be your friend because like he's kind of driving all of those now. So you know, let's take a little peek here at what Zacy was playing. I think this was back in set 1 here. He was playing blue. Ooh, interesting. 1 aloe cookie. He probably just needed 1 more. 1 black raisin cookie. That's really interesting. All right, I don't want to get too lost in the sauce here. We should take it back one step, but this is exactly what I'm talking about. You get so much information like in these like 2 sites here. You can find so many community deck lists, and what's really cool is that more than likely someone used this deck list to play in a tournament, because you can kind of see when you go play your first event that they require you to submit a deck list. And that might be a challenge for some people because you're like new to the game, but you have all these great resources that you can lean on. You can just like build your deck by just clicking on someone else's list and see exactly what they played. So this one's from set 2 here. And again, it's blue. Blue is a really popular color because you get to draw a lot of cards, which gives you, you know, obviously that gives you like way more ability to interact, way more like friendly. You know, I've got all my resources. Like this is how I'm going to interact with the game. Blue is like a really well-defined color coming out of set 1 because a lot of the cards do let you draw cards even in set 1. Some of the other colors like green didn't really find their exact footing until set 2. Where they got like super powerful cards like that Sugar Swan cookie that I just showed you. But blue kind of had what it was going on like in set 1. And then I do want to show you this card because if you're familiar with other games, this card just feels kind of like Pot of Greed. It's so cool. So level 1 cookie, you just put it in play and you're not even really punished. Like remember when I said that your break area is kind of like the defining factor for your life? Like if your break gets to 10, you lose the game. This one's level 1. So it's not very consequential if your opponent somehow defeats this cookie. Like usually when you play this, they don't have a choice. Like they don't have a chance to interact with it because you just get to do your thing. But I've seen some cases where someone like had to put this in play. They didn't want to, but they had to. and then they lose this cookie, but it's only level 1, so it's like not that consequential at all. So this one says place this cookie on the bottom of your deck. If your hand contains 5 cards or less, and there's a blue cookie in your battle area, meaning you have another cookie, not this one, draw up to 2 cards from your deck. So you play this, you put an HP on it, and then you put it in the trash. You do not place this, you put it on the bottom of your deck. You don't put this in your break area. So it's really good. You don't even like lose anything for it. You just pay 1 resource, pay 1 mana, you draw 2 cards. It's really good. A lot of like Yu-Gi-Oh players would recognize that as like Pot of Greed. It's very low resourced in this game as well. So I think that's really cool. Okay. So now you know where to like build, you know where to find your deck list, right? Because you've got, I mean, if you go look at like this rankings board, you'll find some really, really talented players. You're going to find their deck lists here. Like a lot of their deck lists are just public. The Fresh Prince. This is someone who wins our case tournaments, like, or he's placing really highly, like almost every week. And you've got his whole deck list here. This was updated 4 days ago. I mean, this is probably the exact list that won him like a whole box, just, 4 days ago, right? Like he made this deck list just to submit it to the tournament that he played in. And so like you're not just getting like people's like random chaff, like you're not getting people's like random stuff. You're getting like this is the full deck list they're using to like play in tournaments. So this is a really cool resource. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this one in the chat here too, just in case like anyone's looking for like where do I find like every deck list ever made. Like it's basically all here, and some of it's like cards I own. By that I mean like that's a really popular phrase. It's like I would play better cards but I don't have it. So sometimes you get deck lists that look a little bit odd, but the more you look at the deck list, the more you'll like read the cards and get a feel for like their power level just on your own. And you'll be able to like, all right, I can tell. All right, he didn't want to play only 1 copy of this. He wanted to play 2 or 3, but he didn't have the other copies. And you just see that sometimes. But you get so much information here that it's just really really cool. And wow. So this is I call this the Yu-Gi-Oh deck. I know at first glance when all we've talked about are like monocolored decks, like 1-color decks. Like I opened this one and it's like you get a mix of all the colors. I call this one Yu-Gi-Oh! Exodia because it plays this card here, which says spend 1 resource of every color to place this in your stage area. And then once it's in your stage area, you can pay 1 mana of every color to rest this card, turn it sideways. If your battle area and support area contain 5 different ancient cookies and 5 different Soul Jam cards, you win the game. So it's like Exodia, where it's like it's really hard to pull it off in theory, but once you do, like you are just so set because it doesn't have to be all on the board. It doesn't have to all be in your resource. You can do a mix of both. It's totally fine. But if your support area and your battle area contain 5 different ancient cookies and 5 different Soul Jam cards, you win the game. There's only 1 of each in each color, right? So if you want to play this, just like the Avengers Assemble kind of artwork they have going on here, just like that, you just put them all on the table. It's so cool, and you get this deck list where your opening play, your opponent's not going to suspect that you're playing Exodia unless you told them, and so they are just thinking like, what is he playing? He just resourced a green cookie and then he played a blue cookie. I don't know what's going on. But then when you play your 3rd color, they're going to know and they're going to be scared because they're like, well, surely this deck doesn't work, right? But no, it's a thing. It's a real thing. You can actually pull this off. It takes a lot of skill, but you can do it. And that's really exciting. Okay, so we've got about 2 minutes here before we get over to Risu's Win-A-Box tournament that he's doing tonight. We are going to tune into that here. And while we're doing that, or before we do that, rather, we're going to go ahead and look at a couple more deck builders, starting with this one, right? Because we told you now where to grab all your decks, but let's figure out how to build your own. I think that's really cool. One of my favorite things here is just being able to read all the cards. And yes, I could have done that. I could have read all the cards on the product page where I showed you before, but I think this is really cool because 1, it just has this cool effect on it which is great. Like I get to like for me, my ADHD brain is just like all over this. I'm like shiny and I can like move it around. That's so cool. But no, we don't we don't want to dig too hard in that. So this is like how you can build your deck. You can just click on these. If I were to log in, I would see a little bit more like deck list tools. So I don't get that just because I'm not logged in yet. But let me go ahead and I'll show you my favorite card, which we already talked about. It's this Sugar Swan cookie. You kind of see like the base artwork doesn't have any champion symbols on it. But this is, this is that card. You also get a lot of additional, you can just like read the text here if you need some accessibility. You've got all that here. Got a lot of info. Attack, skill, stats. You can kind of break down the parts of the card. This is the effect. It's very cool. It's a very cool website. It's got everything kind of going in one place. We've got a rewards section here because not only are you competing in the ranking for season points, you're also earning cookie coins every time you play in a tournament. Every tournament you play in for CookieRun Braverse is going to earn you an online currency. As long as you're playing inside of the official play.cookieruntcg.com, every tournament you play in is going to earn you an online currency that you can use to get a lot of stuff. A lot of different stuff. A lot of like really, really interesting stuff. Like this Eternal Sugar Cookie. This Shadow Milk Cookie. I just want you guys to understand like how you get these cards, right? Like these are not like, I'm not getting these when I go to my local game store. I'm not getting these like probably even when I go to NA Champion Cup. I'm getting these cards from like going to like New York Comic Con. That like super easy to go to tournament that happens in like that place like in New York, Like I have to go to New York Comic Con to get these cards. Like it's really tough. It's really cool to be there because you get this stuff. But I have another alternative way to get them. I can just go play in my LGS, earn that online currency, and use it to redeem for an Eternal Sugar Cookie or Shadow Milk or Ginger Brave. And these cards are foil as well. Something you can't see here, like one of the main reasons you would want these cards, in my opinion, is because they're foil and they have flip effects. So you can use those like as a way to like bling out your deck because you don't get a lot of like flip effects that are foil right now. I'm sure that'll change in the future, but right now you don't have access to those. So if you want foil copies of those cards, this is the way to get them. You get these Eternal Sugar Cookies, you get the Shadow Milk, and then you've got foil cards here. And I haven't even looked at these this keychain series. I wonder if I can find out more about it. That's actually really cool. And I say that because I had a bunch of I say that because I have a bunch of cookie coins that I haven't spent yet. And so I'm really interested to see like what does this look like? Can I use it? Let's see. Let's take a look. Oh, these are like little dinglies, huh? Yeah, they say keychain on them. I don't quite see the keychain itself. But I'm guessing these are just like slot-ons to like your keyring that you already have. Oh, those are thick. Yeah, I see the hoop at the top. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't think these would be like 3D effect, but they're almost like a tile. That's awesome. Collect them all. There's 15, and then it contains one keychain. So it's like a little, it's like a loot box or something. There's a word for it. I'm just blanking on that Dropbox name, but. Oh, that's awesome. And like you get the custom packaging and everything. And then this gold chain, like that is, we can all use some bling, right? That's awesome. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, that's just gravy, like on top of everything else, you get this like almost Lego thing. Like what is this? Like CookieRun Kingdom brick collection. I don't know what that is, but it costs 2,000 coins, so I'm assuming that's like really good stuff there. And I think it's like 150 coins for this like $8 product, which was like really, really good math. Like you get really good EV there. And I'm gonna take a look at that like after the stream because there's Series 3 and there's Series 4 here. And I think that's really awesome. Because like, dude, not only does that give me like one thing to chase, but almost like 15 or 20 because like I'm not going to get like if I ordered 15 of these, I'm not getting one of each, right? Like I'm going to get like double up or whatever I have to pull in. But maybe I can convince some people to like trade with me because I'm already seeing like dark Choco Cookie. There's Sorbet Cookie, Adventurer Cookie. It looks like Mint Chocolate Cookie. I know more of these than I thought I did. That's really cool. I love how much I'm learning about this whole universe just by playing the card game too. And kind of like when I play the card game and then I see things happen later. Yeah, it's like a charm bracelet, exactly. Yeah, no, like I saw someone have one of these like on their backpack, and I was like, oh man, like I'm trying with my backpack game, guys. Like look at this. My backpack game is like really stepping up here. But I don't have like the charms like that yet. But look at that. Look at that. My backpack game is like going up. Look at that. He's so cute. I love him. And he flops around. So, anything you can do to like step up your like tournament swag, I think that's like super important for like personality. Where's the lemon zest cookie? Oh, I'll show you actually, Larry. I'll show you where the lemon zest cookie is. So we're gonna go to a site called U2's, and we're gonna go CookieRun because, and this is available in North America. You can get this today. Like I'm waiting to get paid tomorrow, honestly, before I buy these. But, bro. These are 9-inch plushies. Like, yeah. Like you can take like this, like the same size. It's like the perfect size to like put in your backpack. Like the Labubu craze is here, and in some, arguably it's gone. It's past, right? That was something that happened yesterday, but we're looking at tomorrow. But I can capture the same feeling, the same like swag of the Labubus, just with these like CookieRun characters. And like I said, I don't play any of the other CookieRun games except for Braverse, like the card game. But even just with that little bit that I'm getting like exposed to, I'm starting to think a lot about these. Like I think I'm gonna have to buy one. I'll tell you, if I'm being honest with you, the one that sold me was this pure vanilla cookie. I think this thing is so drippy. Like look at this, bro. Like her whole, she has on like this like almost like Elsa's like snow cloak, like the super thick cloak that they use for like basically protecting from the Arctic weather. Pure Vanilla Cookie's wearing something like that, except it's a waffle cone. Like, bro, like how much more vanilla can you get than waffle cone? It's just so on brand. I love it. So I saw that and I was like, okay, it's only $30. Like, kind of have to get one. It's like kind of my favorite thing. So no lemon zest yet, I think. It's very possible that there's a lemon zest coming soon. I don't know. But U2's got you. U2's got you. So if that's something you're interested in, golden cheese cookie, like these are some powerful, like this is probably like one of the more powerful cards from set 2. And so this is like the mock-up for it, the artwork, but this is the like IRL, like in-person photo. Bro, like that looks insane. That looks so good. And that's like one of the benefits that you get when you play a game that already has like an established IP is you get so much depth. Like you're like, oh, I really click with this like Monkey D. Luffy, right? Like just take my case, right, where I never watched One Piece before I played One Piece. I started learning about the cards and I'm like, this is like Zoro is sick, right? Like that is so cool. And then you look it up and you're like, oh wait, this is something that has existed for like 30 years and there's so much stuff, there's so much IP, there's so much merch and lore behind it. I can learn more, I can read more, I can really dive into the character history, like how rich they are. And I can buy like t-shirts, sweaters, like so much merch to kind of like, swag out like all my tournament trip. That's what it's all about, and I think that's so cool. Like with CookieRun, it just feels like you're home. They're so cute. They're so lovable. That can be off-putting a little bit for like really competitive players, but honestly, if the competitive players just give the game a try, and I've seen this happen like dozens of times at this point, talking to like my really like pro Lorcana friends, Riftbound friends, they're like super into those games. And a lot of people are considering like, do I play in the Riftbound 10K that's happening at the Pro Play Summit in December, or do I go and play the CookieRun NA Champion Cup? Like, and I think any new card game that's competing with Lorcana and Riftbound for players' attentions, like right now, that's a really, really good sign. Like guys, like seriously, that's a massive, right? Because Riftbound has a lot of people's attention right now, and so I've gotten at least 5 players like come to me and say like, "Hey, when are we gonna find out about the prizing for NA Champion Cup?" Because I'm really considering that over playing the main event for Earthbound. So I think that's really impressive. All right, so I showed you this this website. You got a whole bunch of store lists here. Same thing as the other site. You can just type in your address and show, on a map, like how far away it is from you. Even just within 2 hours of me, there's like 10 stores here, it looks like. So I've got quite a bit that I could do if I wanted to. I can drive like the 30 minutes over to Blacksburg, and then I can get play. Another thing I could do too is like I could go to my LGS like in Lynchburg, and I could say like, hey, I've got a whole bunch of friends that want to play this game with me. What can we do about that, right? So you can find the North American email address right here. Organized play at CookieRun Braverse TCG.com. If you were to send an email to them and tell them that you want to get your local game store onboarded for the CookieRun Play program, that's absolutely something they can help you out with. So even as a player, you can start the conversation on behalf of your LDS and then just send your LGS our way. They'll take care of you right there. I'll be able to finish my CookieRun decks at the summit. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. All right. So I want to show you guys a couple more resources of deck lists before we switch over to the live tournament that's happening right now. I'm going to go ahead and pull up that tournament in the background. Make sure that we have... Great, they haven't started just yet. Waiting for one more player, having some issues. Okay, no problem at all. So it looks like Risu has not yet started his tournament. But we're going to jump over to that in just a minute. Going to jump over there. So before we go into the live tournament that's happening here in just a few minutes, which is really exciting, we're going to take a look at .gg. So this is CookieRun.gg. So you'll notice that a lot of these articles are a little out of date. August, September, but it is being updated. It's all being updated by one guy, so I'm not going to do any complaints because I'm just really excited that there's all this information out there already. There's already people that are so dedicated to the game that they're looking to make content. They're looking to help players along this journey. Including myself. I want to facilitate for everybody as much as I can. I want to host tournaments. I want to bring you into resources. Want to give you all anything you're asking for. So, definitely join the Pro Play Games Discord or tag me in the comments and ask questions because I would love to help you out. As you can tell, I'm very long-winded. So any questions at all, I do not mind carving out time for you. I can walk you through any process at all. I just love CookieRun so much right now that I think it's just so worth it. So you've got this whole unboxing run event, which is one of the formats for the game. You can read a full article about that here. One of the things that I really love is that this Mr. Rafa person does post winning meta deck lists, basically doing a whole recap. Because there are regions that are basically one set. I keep saying basically. I'm so sorry. There are regions that are one set ahead of North America. So what we're getting is all of these results, and we get to see a little bit of what the meta next set will look like. And remember when I said that set 1 cards they kind of look like One Piece cards? Well, even at a glance, you can see that this is set 3. Maybe even a little bit further, but look how many cards in here look like One Piece cards. I'm seeing quite a number of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 out of what is probably 18 cards total, 20 cards unique, something like that. 9 of them is almost half. So we're still talking about putting set 1 cards in our deck well into set 3, well into BS 6, 7, 8. We're still looking at our set 1 cards. So if you're looking at and saying well, I don't really want to invest right now because 6 months from now, 3 months from now, my entire collection is going to be invalidated. That's not true. That's actually not true. I'm seeing starter deck cards. Let me scroll down to my boy, the green deck. This is my jam. I love green so much. But look at this. This is a fistful of set 1 starter deck cards and set 2 cards. The only card I'm seeing here that's even in the future, actually, I don't think any of them are. I think this is all just straight set 2 cards. So this is gas. This is exactly what I was talking about. a lot of the cards that you're playing like today are still going to be relevant tomorrow. Like they're still super impactful. Not everything is going to continue on, but a lot of like the powerhouses from the starter decks, they never get reprinted. Maybe you get a promo of it, but that's it. And a lot of players are like just having a great time. You can see like, this whole deck list here was taken via photo. So like they required like a photo instead of like the actual deck builder. And you can see like he got his little champion card here. So Age of Heroes and Kingdom, like champion, and then you got a full deck list. Like this is another really great resource for, not just like pulling the random decks from the, from everybody that's submitting a deck list, but you can actually see like what won very consistently in that region. So again, CookieRun.gg, amazing resource to go to. Now let's look at a couple other features that they have here. You can kind of see. So I've got like my full. This is my this is my detailed. Which let's see the difference here. This is the simplified version. So I think the simplified version here is just like missing the card image. That might just be like a bug though. I think it's just looking for like smaller cards. But this is really cool. Like, I didn't even notice this before, but you can actually hover over every single card on the preview and see it. So much information, like so much good stuff here. And let's go over the deck builder because I think like .gg is like one of the cooler ones that I've seen. And so we've got this like side scroller here that has all of the cards on it. We can look infinite filters. Like look at this. I can filter by everything, every rarity, every level, every product that's in the game. I can filter by those. I can sort by different modes. Like if I want to see, now I will say like one thing I see most people doing, and I haven't seen this corrected anywhere yet, but like a really important thing to be able to sort by is actually the level of the card. I don't know what it is. For me, I just want to see like all the level 1s, and then I want to see all the level 2s, and then all the level 3s. But I haven't seen yet like anybody implement that. And I think I know the reason, like on the back end, that it's like a little bit challenging. But I haven't seen that yet, so I'm looking for a deck builder that lets me sort by level because I like that a lot. But yeah, this one, super easy. Just click on the card, and then once you click on it, you can start adding it to your deck. And you can see it just pops over here on the side. If you want, I think you can preview it somehow. Yeah, right here. Click on this button. You get a very large preview of it. You get all the stats of the card. Very good stuff. And that's the deck builder. You can get your image of the deck builder here, which this is really screenshotable, by the way. So if you're ever looking to like submit your deck list somewhere, you can take a whole screenshot of this. So that's incredible. Very good resource here. So that's CookieRun.gg. They have a meta tier list. They have articles. They have card viewers. They have a whole collection tracker if you're interested in tracking your own collection. Like you want to see, we get a lot of like completionists, right? That want to see like, I'm 90% of my collection. I'm just missing this like one SR, this one SUR, like this one very like special rarity. You can see that at a glance. Like you can get full stat breaks down. You get a whole collection completion percentage. I mean, like being able to screenshot 100% on that and being legit about it, that's a flex. That's a flex I don't think a lot of people are going to be able to do for at least another like year in this game. So that's really cool, being able to jump on that immediately. And honestly, the fact that like the game is so new and someone's already thought to implement a collection tracker into their deck builder, I mean, hats off to this person. Like very, very cool. Love this whole website. It connects over to Reddit. You get a lot of resources for the whole .gg network. I think he has more than just CookieRun going on, but you get all of it there. So definitely check that out. All right, so let's move on though, because we have other deck builders. So we've got here, this is also .gg. So we've got another one that I really love called cookiedex.com. I'm sorry I didn't have it pulled up already, but this one's CookieDex, and I see a lot of people using this one right now. So I think it is something for you to like kind of pay attention to. So we've got browse cards here. You can do a lot of the same stuff that you're able to do on .gg, but with like different flavors of it, right? Like you get different styling, build decks, and you just get different people like using it, whatever their preference is. I think this one looks really good on mobile, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, like I love this one on mobile because you get this like whole like tab system here, which it bounced up a little bit, so I got a little lost, but yeah, you get this whole tab system here. When you click on it, you can see like different elements. So you're not trying to like fight for space on your phone. And so CookieDex is like really, really good for being able to use your phone and still think about, still interact with the game. I know a lot of like developers are really focused on like the website first, especially with the new games. It's like very website focused. So it's nice to have developers already thinking about mobile. And so Cookie Decks, like hats off to them. The site looks amazing. I love this like hover effect. For me, I know I can see the products everywhere. For me, I like the little bells and whistles that you get. I like these, like when I mouse over it, I get this like huge effect. When you click on it, it adds it over here. Now this one does not limit you on the amount of cookies you can put in your deck. So you can build a deck that has like whatever theory crafted reasons for whatever you're doing. But you click on it and it pops up. So Cookie Decks, very, very strong, very nice there. So moving on to this one called PlayCookies.com, which has its own deck builder as well as like their own deck list selector. So you get your whole view decks here. You can kind of see everything. This website also lets you do a full deck builder here. So kind of the same way that .gg is doing it. This deck builder gets your deck list here in the middle. You can preview, pop up, and then you can also load all the decks. What's cool about this one is that you can go to the like the public decks, and instead of copying and doing an import process, you can just subscribe to that deck list, and it'll add it to your account. But more than that, anytime they make a live update, you have the option to update your deck list to that as well. So that's really cool. Like if it'll tell you like over on the right side, if somebody makes a change to their deck list, you can like get the new version of it, which I love. Like being able to subscribe to like these live decks is like really cool, especially as people like iterate on them. And so I think there's going to be this like kind of meta where players like want to be the most subscribed to, because there is like a subscriber count on the other page, and it'll be kind of like a flex that like you're the number one subscribed to like deck builder. And so like this website's really cool because it's kind of more geared towards deck builders in general. Like, right, you get rewarded a little bit by being the most innovative because people want to follow your deck, and maybe you're like the better player and you win a lot, so players are like really interested in what you're doing. And so I think that's really cool. And of course, you've got your panel over here. You get all your filters, whatever you want to do. You can filter by set here as well. This site, instead of grouping it all into like Brave Beginning 1, Brave Beginning like as BS1 and 2, this one splits it out, so you get like set 1, but it's all the BS1 cards, because in North America they are doing a combined release where set 1 for the US is actually BS1 and BS2. So set 1 is actually like set 1 and 2 everywhere else, right? But here in America, here in the North America region, it's actually like combined into one set, which is cool. But this one lets you filter by those like 1 and 2 sets. So very cool. This one does have all of the visualizers for like the champion cards, so you get all those promos. Very cool. But that's playcookies.com. And it looks like they've got some new features coming soon here from the news update. So that's really cool. Love that. All right. So moving on, let's check in on Risu's stream here. Let's see how Risu's doing. So again, this is Risu the squirrel. And so this is our friend here in the Florida area. So he is running tournaments kind of alongside me. I'm doing every Sunday and every other Saturday for tournaments, and Riso's doing every Thursday. So if you join us in the CookieRun Discord starting next week, then you'll be able to tune in live to these Hangout sessions where we just kind of talk about deck lists in the meta. We talk about like community activities. We talk about, one of the things that I always find interesting is that there is so much rich history and lore in CookieRun in general, that these players know so much about the history of the games outside of CookieRun Braverse. So I was very quickly introduced to these Korean cards that came out based on not the card game, but the mobile game. Like the mobile game had its own trading cards, which is really cool. But the artwork really struck me because it was like really loud. It was like graphic. It kind of looked like movie posters, which I'm a huge fan of. And so capturing that movie poster just feeling was so great. Okay, and so this is what I was talking about. Like, there are not that many like sleeve options in North America, and so already we're seeing basically one of the only two. So in set one, when set one pre-released, which you had to be like a super early adopter to be in on that, you got to like pick one of like 5 cookies. I think it was like one of each color. And so I'm really jealous because I want those lemon zest sleeves like so bad. I messaged the Dev Sisters team. I'm like, please, I need. I love, I love it. I love lemon zest cookies, like my absolute favorite. But you get these. You can also get these. These. I think they were Gen Con exclusive sleeves. They might just be like North America promos at this point. But it has the Statue of Liberty on it as a cookie, and then it has like two really adorable cookies. We'll see it here when he finishes shuffling his deck. But like I said, there's only 2 options available in North America. So you either get those pre-release sleeves or you get this any promo sleeve. So you don't get a ton of choices. So anytime we can get sleeves, like gimme. I need them. I want options. I want to outfit my deck with like custom personality stuff. Like I want to personalize it all. You said lemon zest sleeve. That's right. On screen right now, Larry. On screen right now, there's a lemon zest sleeve. I want, Larry, you got to track them down for me. I need them. All right, players took a mulligan here. Looks like he has 3. Sorry, I was counting the cards in the hand because I look like 7. But I don't think so. So we're going to get a lot of cards here, right? So first of all, how hype is it that we get a green player here on camera round 1? That's exciting, first of all. These were at New York Comic Con. No, the lemon zest sleeves were pre-release only. They were pre-release only. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's holding 4 cards right now. I discarded 5. So he resourced Pinecone Cookie, which is a flip effect. Now you do have a lot of lower power cookies in the green deck, so you have a lot of like resource options. What's really cool is that your stage card will tap to be able to put a card back into your hand. So that's exciting because you can resource your like late game stuff, and then you have full access to it at the end of the game. Like right when it matters, you can pick it up. And it can be a little bit demoralizing for your opponent when they're like trying to get through to you and you pick up your trap card from your resource and they're like counting all the trap cards you have, and then you play your stage, pick it up, and they just go, I thought I had this, but now I don't. All right, so I'm not as familiar with the yellow cards, so bear with me here on the yellow side. I really apologize for that. Looks like we broke that cookie. So it went over to the break zone. So we did marzipan cookie. It says if you have 2 different kinds of marzipan cookie in your battle area and 4 different kinds of marzipan cookie cards in your support area, so that's a lot, this cookie gains ×2 attack. So that one could swing potentially for 6 if you've set it up correctly. What's really interesting about that is that it's a flip effect. So it says draw 1 card from your deck on flip. So the other marzipan cookies are also flip effects. So you can build your entire deck to where you're playing like all of the 4 different marzipan cookies, and they're just not even really cards in your deck because they're all just like flip effects. I think there's one that's not a flip effect. That's okay. Like you still get 12 other that are, All right, so we draw 2 cards for the start of the turn. We're back on the green side. We're gonna put down Shadow Milk Cookie. Okay, like I said, you cashing in those cookie coins to get some swag flip effects. That's gas. So he puts that in his resource. And then he passes the turn. Tangerine Cookie does cost 4 resources in order to swing for 3. So it is a little overcosted, but that's actually not a problem for green because green is just trying to ramp, trying to accelerate. So not a huge deal there. Yellow card comes across and is going to swing for presumably 2 damage, possibly 1. We're going to see. No flip effects, playing Blue Lily. That's exciting. 2 damage, and we see a trap card get revealed. That's awesome. So some of the trap cards in green right now are interesting because you get these effects that deal damage to your opponent's cookie when you are when you're attacked. So there's a whole world where you can there's a whole world where you get to like destroy their cookie before the attack even goes through, and it just cancels the whole attack. So it's very Yu-Gi-Oh-esque. Sometimes it feels like Mirror Force. I'm going to step away to grab my kiddo some water here. So just I'm going to turn on the volume for Risu. Enjoy some better commentary from Risu for just a minute.
letting everybody know what the good, like, because there's eBay, but then there's a lot of there's a lot of local shops that post their singles online. Like by me, there's like Gamersaurus, there is Haven Games, Millennium Games, which is based in New York, also has singles posted. There's a couple other ones. So if you join the like official CookieRun Discords, like you can get people are more than willing to get you a list of everything you need. Pro Play Games, I think I said that. Yeah. Did I not say Pro Play? I should have said Pro Play. That's on me. Yeah, Pro Play Games has a bunch of singles up, and honestly, you might have to shop around to get like the best prices, but everybody's so close to each other anyway that like it's probably not even more, like you're probably just easier saving on the shipping and above all else. Yeah. All right, so we have Marzipan 0.
All right, I'm back here.
I guess
okay.
it's Marzipan.
All right, just trolling Risu a little bit. That's funny. He was talking about shopping everywhere. Reminder, Pro Play Games does have all the singles on their website, so if you're looking to buy some of those harder to get cookies, check out proplaygames.com. That's pro-playgames.com. Very exciting. You can get a lot of cookies there, reasonably priced. A lot of those are like the lowest price that it gets sold on eBay, as like the market stabilizer there, where everybody has a chance to sell them, rather than going off of other games prices, like other stores prices. Like they use eBay like a tested field. So really cool. You get a lot of like very reasonable prices there. So we got attacked once more on our tangerine cookie. What's really fun here? It looks like we used is that Supreme Whipped Cream to minus that attack, so we took less damage. That's really cool. One cool thing we might see here is the Sugar Swan cookie actually get used. We have a couple of ways to do this, but what Green really wants to do is play these 5 health cookies onto the board. And then right when they go down to 1 HP, use a card to put it back into your support. Now, a couple cards do that. Sugar Swan is one of them. Sugar Swan cookie costs 2 resources to pick one of your L2 or lower cookies and put it into your resource directly. So we might see that here. We might also see another card. Let's see if we see Ancient Healer's Gaze. We do not, but we do see the Sugar Swan cookie, which I love. Again, if you're playing competitively or not, it doesn't matter. You don't have to play in these like large tournaments. You can just play in your local game store, your LGS, and you can get enough points to be able to earn the like super swagged out, super promo version of Sugar Swan cookie. It's amazing. So we're in round 1. We've got 22 minutes left here. Sugar Swan comes down. It does put that card in active mode. So, he went from 4 up to 5, but it cost him 2. So now he's down to 3 resources. That's a super convenient number because let me tell you what it costs to swing with Sugar Swan cookie. It costs 3. So he's leaving up resources here intentionally because he could have swung for 3. Now, there's 2 reasons for that. One, he could have decided, I don't want to clear my opponent's cookie right now, because something we didn't talk about earlier in the rules video, but you can replace a cookie from your hand right after your cookie leaves the board, right? So if that L2 cookie that he has leaves the board, he could replace it with something that has an on-play effect, something that could change the game. Not saying that's going to happen here. I'm not saying that's even possible, but it is something that, you do have to think about. So likely he's just holding up a trap card. He wants to protect his Sugar Swan cookie, or, there's another case that he's thinking about. I think I would have made that attack, but that's because I'm a little bit more aggressive than Green really has to be. Green has this strong suit where if you're patient and you ramp your mana, and that's your singular focus, then you can... you really do get rewarded for that. Your opponent's plays, they cost a lot of resources. So do yours, really. Like, Green is like not cheap to play. It can cost 3-4 mana to swing with like your basic cookies, but that's actually okay because you have the extra resources, you have the extra support cards because of effects like Sugar Swan, Ancient Healer's Gaze. There's a couple other ones like Ladybug. There's we saw Viney Vines here. He's playing some set 1 cards in that pool. There's like Lemon Time Cookie. There's a couple ways that you can accelerate your resources here. And remember when we looked at deck lists earlier, You do not play you don't play this like crazy wide deck. It's all 4-ups, so you're really focusing in on like 20 or less cards. So when 4 or 5 of your cards like ramp you a mana, like you're pretty good. Like you can really get up there quickly, and you just have to be singularly focused on that. So Stormbringer Cookie comes out, looks like, or maybe that's a different one. Again, sorry, I'm yellow is like so rare to even see played because of how hard it is to get. That this is maybe a first for me on the yellow side there. I'll promise next time I do this, I will have played more against and with yellow to be more comfortable with it. But for now, we'll just respond to what is happening here. So he is swinging with this card here, Divine Light Crystal. Mischievous Ladybug. There's one of the ramp cards I was telling you about. That one costs 3 resources, and you can deal 1 damage to your opponent's cookie, and then that Ladybug goes into your own support. So you gain quite a bit off of that one card. Okay, but he did also lose Viney Vines. That's both copies of Viney Vines. If he's playing more than that, I would be really surprised. That card has a pretty narrow, like, what it's able to interact with, so super interesting there. If he's playing more than 2 of that, I'd be surprised. They are a little bit gone now. He does have potentially ways to get cards back from his trash, but they're only cookies, right? So it's interesting, too, that he resourced a Tangerine Cookie. I think that one's, like, one of the better, like, I'm just going to put this in play just to, like, field an interaction. Like, when you're trying to stall, that's a great card to do it, because it's, like, it's pretty tough for your opponent to just straight up, like, merc 5 HP in one turn. So it's a cool way to do it. But he put it in support. So we're flipping Marzipan Cookies here, drawing cards. And if you look back there, he's already assembling a number of Marzipan Cookies. Like, oh, it's getting tough. Okay. That one's a Rogue Fur Cookie, I believe, for yellow. That one was from set 1, so I know that one. Also, I just noticed he's playing on a green playmat that has the packaging on it. He's playing he's playing on a playmat and it's sealed. Like, he didn't even want to take it out of the packaging. Like, that's how hard it is to get accessories for this game. Haven't seen this guy in a minute. I know, I'm so sorry. Rage Quit Gamer. I remember. It's been a while. Matt, I believe. And it has me as a cookie. I'm not an herb cookie. They say I'm an herb cookie because my hair matches like his hair, like, because we have this like spiky flip thing when my hair's not kind of like greasy like it is. How you doing, man? What are you still streaming? I haven't really been super active on like Twitch and stuff. If I can convince you to play CookieRun with me, I have all the decks, so you can just play. All right, so back to green here. Looks like we put level 2 Lilybell Cookie in play. That one's pretty interesting. Like, this green player really wants to rely on the trap cards, and they've kind of built their whole deck around this, which not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, Lilybell Cookie is pretty strong. In set 1, it was like one of your only ways to deal 3 from green. So you use that card just because it would, like, the effect is like whatever. Like, untapping a mana at the end of your turn is like fine. It's not game breaking, it's not game winning, it's not like a super crazy mechanic. You do get to play more trap cards, but like, you can arguably say that like trap cards in general like are okay. They're not like the best, especially in green. It's at 1. Set 2, we have access to more green cards that are like solid trap cards, are going to deal damage to my opponent's stuff. I'm gonna get benefits. I'm gonna get paid off like when my stuff gets destroyed, gets defeated. So you've got a little bit more playability in green. I haven't yet seen like a green list that like really is relying on the trap card. So this is interesting. Putting Lilybell Cookie in your deck is really interesting. I actually cut that card to make more room for more Sugar Swan Cookies, more Wind Archer Cookies, right? Because like those cards are just elite. They're so powerful. And you're not really lacking for damage anymore like you were in set 1. So the Lilybell Cookie here probably is just a choice being made because of the impact like that you get from untapping a resource, and he's being more trap focused. I do see a lot of item cards in his deck, so that's cool. Like I said, if you're familiar with One Piece, then items are kind of like those event cards. If you're not, if you're familiar with Magic, it is more like a sorcery spell. So cool. There's a lot of good analogs between Cookie Run cards and other games. Like a lot of the mechanics in Cookie Run exactly are like a kind of a mashup of different card games. And that's honestly that's so much of a compliment because it really took like the best pieces out of like every single game and put them all together. And I think it innovated in some creative ways, which is great. Like I said, having a mix between like Magic costing mana to play a card and Yu-Gi-Oh being free to play a card, and they actually found a way to like marry the two. So interesting, like really cool. Lilybell Cookie coming down like on the card viewer here. I'm so sorry guys. I wish I knew yellow cards. I really did not expect people to play yellow tonight. I know a lot of people are gonna watch this video and say like yellow's meta. I know, but like in North America, it's really hard to get all the yellow cards because there's so many URs in the deck that's required. So we just don't see a lot of like yellow getting played right now. Maybe that'll change soon, but like right now, yellow is just not really in there. Been busy. I would be down to play it. Been into Union Arena when I got time. Okay, yeah. If you're into Union Arena, I'm not sure exactly like how the mechanics cross over, but that is a Bandai game, and I believe like one of the lead designers from this game was a designer for like Bandai for a while before he made this one. So you get a lot of you're gonna get a lot of crossover mechanics for sure. Like that's Bandai just keeps iterating on the same games, right? So like improving them, finding what works, finding what different doesn't work, and making it better and better. Whoa, I don't even know what that green card is. And he flipped two of them. What is that? Oh, pull that up on the viewfinder. I don't know what that is. I don't even know what that card is. I've never seen that. Should we pause the video and go find it? Ooh, we could do that. There's so many card lists, so many deck builders out there. We could find like I think it was L3. Especially with the foiling. It really looked like an L3. Was it Shadow Milk Cookie just from like a different angle? That's possible, but that's a flip, so he would have used it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Resourcing Sugar Swan Cookie is so cool because, like I said, the stage card that's in his trash right now, it's the very top card in the trash, lets you pick up a card. So Sugar Swan Cookie, not immediately useful. And he just, like, this player just acknowledging, all right, I'm going to need this card later, but not right now. Like, so I have no problem at all putting this in my resource. That's fire. I love that. I love that. And now he's thinking about which cards he's tapping. Now, this is a green player. Okay, deciding which 3 resources he's putting sideways. Super important for this deck because, like I said, you get to pick a lot of those cards up. Like, throughout the game, you're going to get to pick them up. So, cool. Very cool. His opponent's looks like he's at 5 in the break area. Currently, we're at level 2 with just our Lilybell gone. Now, what's interesting from yellow is they do a lot of break area manipulation. So you're gonna have to pin them fast on a single turn. It's like if you're able to only kill like 1 cookie per turn, that's the sweet spot for them, right? Because every time you murk a cookie, they're gonna like put down a resource, like put down a card that lets them pay resource to heal that life off that you just broke. So it can be a little tough if you don't have like quite a bit of that damage. Now, what's interesting is that Wind Archer Cookie could come down and change that whole equation, right? Because your opponent, you could like force them to play differently. So the stage card does come down. I kind of thought he was telegraphing that for the first time this game. He thought about what he tapped, what he turned sideways. Super telling that he had a card that like was gonna interact with his resources. All right, so we are just debating what to do with our 2 resources left open. It looks like possibly more. It looks like 2. He's already turned sideways with the Sugar Swan, and he plays that. Okay, so this is that card I couldn't see. So this is like a better angle on it. Wow, what is that? Oh, he keeps putting his hand over it. Oh, I know what that card is. Yeah, I read that, and I didn't quite think that card was like strong enough. Let me see if we can pull that card up. Let's use the official Cookie Run. Actually, you know what? Cookie Decks came up. Let's open up the browse cards, and then we want to filter by green, and then we want to go. This is a level 1 card, and then it's in set 2. So I don't know if we can get set 2 filters on this one. So Silver Bell Cookie, we found it pretty quickly. So this says when this cookie faints, place 1 card from your support area into the trash. So you lose one of your mana. If your support area contains 5 or more, deal 1 damage to all of your opponent's cookies. So this is like this is a really cool card because like this is where it gets interesting to value, like figuring out how to value green cards, right? Or just Cookie Run cards in general. because this like 2 resource to attack for 2 sounds pretty vanilla, but on a level 1 it's really powerful, because you can play this in the mid game and actually deal a lot of damage. You can deal a lot of damage with this card. Just your opponent's like you can get in the situation where you have like 6 life, you have 6 break area already, and so you're gonna lose the game. Like if you hit 10, you put this level 1 down and your opponent can break that. It doesn't matter. You're only gonna go up to 7. You're not even at risk of like losing to your refresh mechanic. But you can still attack for a good chunk of damage there. And if you're able to like offload this card by yourself, maybe with like Sugar Swan Cookie, then this is like really, really gas. So it's cool. This is something that like I didn't have room for it in my deck, but I can understand why other people did want to play this. I totally get that. I wish CookieRun was like $10 a deck and easy to get in the EU. I would instantly play it. Oh yeah, it's a little tough in the EU right now for sure. Matt said, let me know when you want to get together and play some cards. Good seeing you. Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, if you saw my number, text me. If not, just reach out on Facebook. I would love to connect. Miss you. One of my favorite people that I've ever met in my entire life, to be honest. Those Taurus US sleeves look so cute. Yeah, they do. Like you're not even wrong. That Statue of Liberty, like you have to see it in person. Like it's so cool. It's literally holding an ice cream. Like instead of the torch, it's an ice cream cone. Like that's so good. They know exactly what their like demographic is. They know exactly like what their art style is, and they really nail it like every time. It's so cool. All right, so Yellowman's S cookies inside the yellow deck perfectly makes sense. Where is our herb cookie sleeves on the green deck? That's really the travesty here. We're gonna have to fix that. Get this player some herb cookie sleeves. We need it now. All right, so webcam games, sometimes it happens, you know. I'm noticing on this webcam game that sometimes your hand just gets revealed. You have to make an effort, one, and most importantly, your cards have to be in frame, right? Like you have to be able to see your hand at all times. Like, you know, this green player down here is accomplishing that by they are just putting their hand face down, leaving it on the table, right? But the yellow player is like actually holding them. So you gotta make sure they're always in the viewfinder, always able to be seen. But you don't want to reveal them to the camera because that can mess up the plays a little bit when your opponent knows what your cards are. So you got to play that game a little bit. I recommend if you're going to play in an online Discord tournament, something that's like using webcam instead of like Pixelborn or whatever, I really strongly recommend that you just take like 10 minutes, record yourself a couple of times, just like pretend that you're like mid game. You know what I do all the time is like, you know, I pick up my cards and I do this like shuffle thing. Also, you guys, look at this. This is awesome. I actually have the those sleeves. Oh, right there. My autofocus is on. So yeah, let's see if I get a little bit closer. We'll zoom in. Nope, no autofocus. But you know, you can almost got it right there. You can see the vanilla ice cream cone right there, and then he's wearing like an American flag scarf, which is so cool. I kind of want one of those. He's also wearing an American flag like wizard hat, and I don't want a wizard hat, but I do want the scarf. Like the scarf is pretty cool. Like clothing I would actually wear. It's funny. All right, so we're tapping stage to pick up now. Are we going to get that Sugar Swan cookie? We are not. Also, that was weird. He was supposed to like reveal what he picked up, but interesting. And then he draws a card off of the stage there. Player just being a little bit cautious about like revealing their hand because of the angle of their camera. Totally understandable. But it did lead to them like not, you know, correctly revealing the card they picked up. So a little tough there. I'm sure the opponent asked out loud, hey, what was that? One thing to note is that, you know, you can't always control like what your opponent is like doing on their camera, but you do control the number of questions that you get to ask them, and they have to answer you, right? So if you ask them for public information, something that just happened from a public zone, they have to tell you that. So you know, you do, like I said, you always control the number of questions that you're asking your opponent. Yeah. Okay, so we are just kind of pending here. 6 minutes left in round one. I would expect this game to be concluding very soon, but because this is like a yellow deck. We might see quite a bit of action here before the game's over. We've got a lot of marzipan cookies in the support area right now. Some I'm noticing is we got 3 marzipan cookies over there, 3 different ones. So that's something to look out for. Is this Digimon but cookie? And that's funny. So we've got 3 marzipan cookies. We just need 1 more back in the back row. As soon as we get that last marzipan cookie, we can start swinging for 6. That's a lot of damage. I will say 6 damage is almost like, well, first of all, I think it is like the most damage you can deal with like a single attack. Wildberry cookie plus, I think Wind Archer cookie deals 6. There's a couple that get 5. 6 damage is a lot, right? So if that marzipan cookie connects with that, not a lot of cards are surviving. Let's take like Tangerine cookie, for example, right? Probably the beefiest card in the green deck here. Sorry, not yellow, but green. That card has 5 HP, which means that even in a world where that marzipan cookie attacks you for 6 and you flip over a heal flip, it's not enough. You have to flip 2. I mean, that's unlikely. 6 damage is quite a bit. Silver Bell Cookie finally coming up on the viewfinder here. So we do see, we can see that now here. But like I said, you just use you can use context clues. I saw that it was level 1. You can kind of filter down to, I know it's green, I know it's level 1, and then I can scroll to find the artwork. Use the tools that you have. Card database. I just pulled up a random one. I was looking for the official one. You could have found it there as well. Use the filters to your advantage. You can find all of this. Closer to Bandai than anything. True. A little bit like One Piece though. I would say it's a really good blend of a lot of stuff. Like I really don't want to put it in one house because it's truly not. Like it truly lives in so many places. Like it's inspired. This is the thing, right? Like these companies are not doing Google searches to find like what are the game mechanics that I can just put together to like make a cool game, right? They're not doing that. This comes from like you arrive at a game like CookieRun because you spent your entire life playing other games. Like you grew up playing Magic, and then you switched over to Yu-Gi-Oh! And then in 2019, you went to Dragon Ball Super, and then after that, you went to One Piece. And then, only after gaining all those knowledge, really digesting what it all did, what the best parts of those. So like, 1, you're a player well exposed. You've seen Pokemon. You've seen One Piece. You've seen Magic. You've seen all this stuff, right? You're very well exposed. You're very well playing the games. And then you are able to identify the strongest pieces from every single one game, and you put them all together. And I think like arriving at a conclusion like CookieRun is so very cool. It's not something you just pull out of a hat. Like it's not an accident. Like this game, it's so playable. It's so much fun because the people who made it are so passionate about card games in general, right? So I'm going to end the stream right there. It's about 9 o'clock for me. I've been going for about 2 hours here. I'm going to end it right there. This is round 1 of a multi-round tournament. Risu has, I think, 7 players tonight. I didn't see the final count. But this is a multi-round tournament. So you can go, and we're right here at the very end of round 1. 2 minutes remaining, which means that everybody's going to be finishing up here in about 2 minutes. So what I want you to do, go to Risu's video, the VOD. You can find Risu the Squirrel right here. I'm going to drop it in the chat for you. Go finish watching this tournament on Risu's side. Risu's super fun commentary. Great dude. Love Risu. He's switching over right now to end the round. So right here where this video's gone black, that's a great transition point for you to jump ahead and just go ahead and keep watching him. I'll put a link to his video here in the description of the video, so you don't have to go far. If you're watching up to this point, you want to finish up this webcam tournament. I think it's a winning box in that case. Go ahead, go right to Risu's video. He looks like he's starting round 2. Well, this looks like the finish of round 1. So, like I said, we have about a minute left here. But yeah, definitely go support Risu. I dropped the link in the chat. You can hear a lot more CookieRun facts, a lot more gameplay right there. But that wraps up this video. In this video, you learned how to play CookieRun. You learned where to find CookieRun information. You learned how to play at your LGS. You learned where to find bigger tournaments. You learned which deck builders to find. You learned where to find CookieRun meta. You learned all about like random facts from other card games, and then we even watched a tournament live. So this is a huge video. I know, I'm so sorry that was 2 hours and I ramble a lot, but you got so much information in one single video. It's a great place to branch out from here. To join us twice per week. It looks like we're doing this every Thursday. We'll be doing this Hangout session here on this channel, as well as in the Discord chats. These are going to get a little bit better as we invite special guests on every Thursday, and then every Saturday. Every other Saturday, we're doing a full case tournament. So you can catch, it's like $20 entry, $22 I think after tax. Do that, sign up. You get to play. It's like 15 to 25 people, which is pretty good numbers for CookieRun right now. So it's pretty competitive. First place gets free entry into the NA Champion Cup, as well as lots of booster packs. I mean, talking about tons, like 70 booster packs or something. They get shipped to you for free. That's all included in your tournament entry. And it pays out to like top 8. It could expand further if we get more. And there's a lot going on. Every single Sunday, we're going to be doing a win-a-box just like this. So you can get win-a-box online from Risu on Thursday. Then you can get win-a-box online from PPG on Sunday. Lots of options to play, and it just gets bigger from there, all leading up to the NA Champion Cup in Orlando, Florida, December 13th, 2025, held at the Pro Play Summit in Orlando. It's going to be a great time. You're going to be able to get all the CookieRun accessories that you can dream of. It's going to be awesome. All right, guys. Tune in to Risu. That's it for me tonight. Round 1 is in overtime. Go watch Risu's round 2.